Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for March?
That's a new month.
March 27th through 31st. Okay. So we'll first get started with a big thank you to my husband, JD, for editing last week for me.
That was very awesome of him.
Because I had everything else timed out except for editing.
Kind of an important step.
But it was easier than we trail off.
Yes.
When we're sitting on the couch together. And then sometimes I get work calls in the middle of it, things like that. Every one of my clients knew where I was last week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that I pretty much was going to be a text or email and
right.
time.
And you knew you had the hotel room to yourself for a limited amount of time.
Right.
And so we were trying to get it
done.
So we really stayed on topic.
We did. And that's why we edit. Because seriously, sometimes real estate pops up and I have to handle it in the middle of it. And Amanda is great with understanding that. So, and thank you to you too for that. And then we did receive one Port Charles pipeline from Ashley. And it says, "Hey ladies, I just want to say, Shannon, you weren't alone and you're crying this week. Not only for Epiphany, which her memorial is one of the best I can remember, which we will get to, but for Cam leaving as well. I'm so sad that he won't be singing at the ball this year. Speaking of the ball, I'm going to disagree with you on your Magic Milo stance.
Oh.
I have always been a big fan of Milo. I just want to preempt this. We're not saying we don't like Milo. We love Max and Milo.
Yes.
Love. I started watching GH specifically because of Kirsten Storms. I loved her as Belle on Days of Our Lives. I'm also a 90s baby and still love Disney Channel original movie Xenons, which my baby sister is a 90s baby also, so I am familiar with Xenon because I watched them with her. They were good. And when she left the show, I'm assuming Days of Our Lives, I followed her. It was then I also fell in love with Lulu, specifically Julie Berman. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And did grow on me.
She did, but it took a little time.
The initial was just, no. I was hooked on her storyline with Johnny Spinelli and Milo and was a big fan of him after. He did a really good job of not taking advantage of her.
He did.
Yeah. So the fact that he is back right now, I'm all for it. I loved his act when he did it before, so I'm looking forward to it since I feel like it's been gone so long. Since I feel he's been gone so long. Would I need to see it every year? No. But because he may not come back to do it again, I'm glad it's happening now and wasn't back just for that one episode. I don't know that. So we don't look at spoilers, so I don't know if he actually is. Because then, not to get off subject, they talked about somebody
that would make
dropping out of it.
That would make sense that somebody dropped out and they were like, oh, I have Mac fill in. And Maxie said, no, but I know who can. That would make sense. So, okay, I like that.
Okay, getting new talent into the act. I would like to see how they make it different somehow. And I think that's the thing. Because like we said, it was cute the first time they did it. The second time it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm upset they couldn't let Brando live long enough to do it with them.
That's true.
Yes. Such a waste. No hate, just opposite view. 100%. Love it. I mean, we don't like that you disagree with us, but we respect that you disagree with us.
I do like the point. I understand her point of Milo has not been around for a while.
Absolutely.
So I would like him to be in the nurse's ball, and he absolutely should be dressed in something that shows off his very nice figure that he works hard to have. However, he has other talent, I'm sure, than just standing there showing those off.
I also feel the reason that he is back for him to even feel up to doing that while he's mourning Epiphany. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's just odd. If he just showed up just because he was back in town or whatever, and it hadn't been because of that, I feel like having those two things kind of go together.
They're going to say he should do it to honor Epiphany because the nurse's ball meant so much to her.
So I'm interested in how they tie that in. If it just is, and here you go, if they don't do something like that, where he's struggling with should I or shouldn't I?
Right.
But maybe he will be the person who's filling in. So maybe because they just were referring to it as magic wands for the long time.
Yes.
So now, I guess it's really going to depend on how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my biggest thing was, I don't know. It's just really going to depend on how they do it. As with anything.
True.
And one more thing, I'm not sure if you know or not, I watch GH on satellite and usually on Sundays, which I really like to hear because that's why we record on Sundays and release on Mondays to give people who need the weekend to catch up time to so that we're not spoiling it for you. The guide will load descriptions for the week of the show for the show, and it's the longer, fuller ones I believe Amanda doesn't like.
Uh-huh.
Hulu tends to pick the first line of the full description. Oh, okay. To use for their site, and that's not necessarily the most exciting or eye-catching, just the easiest, more likely. Thank you for all your hard work you ladies put into this. It's truly a bright spot in my week. Love, Ashley.
We love Ashley.
I love that. That was a beautiful email. Thank you. Covered all the bases. I like hearing opposite views.
Oh, absolutely.
World is not fun if we all thought the same.
Very boring.
I am boring. You know.
You're not boring.
But if it was all just me,
yeah.
Where's the challenge in that? Where's the whatever? I love that but that's also her origin story.
Mm-hmm.
Is all of that.
Yes.
So it's kind of how protective we are over Lucky and Liz still.
Yes.
It's the same thing, you know?
Yep.
We're always going to love Sunny and Brenda.
I will enjoy whatever Milo does.
Yes.
I just think that he has other talents besides showing off his bum.
In real life, he's a realtor.
I know. That makes you very happy.
It does.
I know.
Gonna check mark that.
I'm not sure, not to insult your profession, but I'm not sure how to turn that into an act. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna try. So I guess on the subject of
headlines. What did Hulu say this week?
On Monday, Trina attempts to run interference.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Lucy is outraged.
Isn't she always? But yeah.
On Wednesday, an emotional goodbye to Epiphany.
Uh-huh.
Thursday, Spencer meets with Victor. Was literally the last 2 seconds.
Right.
Friday, Lucy is frantic, and Ava meets with Austin.
Yeah. I don't know that meets with Austin. They just kind of...
They happen to be, right? Like, they didn't...
Yeah, that wasn't a planned meeting, but okay.
So my disclaimer for this week is I also watched Jet Lagged. So...
You really, I feel like, didn't miss much, though, because, like Ashley's email said, it was about Cam leaving and Epiphany's memorial, and that was pretty much...
Why did they do both of those the same week?
I don't know, because they wanted to make sure that you cried. So, other than that, it was, everything coming to a head with Eileen, but
yeah,
there wasn't really much besides that. So Monday was Trina.
Yep.
I mean, that description is correct, but it wasn't really a big thing. We all thought that Marshall was going to flip out on Spencer and tell him how he had to stay away from Trina and he wasn't a good influence and all that stuff. And instead, Marshall said, that may have been what I thought about you to begin with, but now that I hear that you're fighting for your brother and Trina is telling me other good things that you're doing that make her feel good,
right?
I'm all for this relationship. Just don't disrespect my granddaughter.
I like how they're making Marshall more interesting.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be a really good confidant for Trina during a very difficult time where she essentially, other than Joss, has no one.
Right.
And I like this side of him. I like that we're seeing this.
Yeah, it was nice to have him in that grandfather role and for him to say, yeah, I know you messed up. I'm not saying you're excused, but I hear what you're doing now, and people can change.
And I like that Spencer also respected their conversation and didn't tell Trina.
Yes.
He was like, I'm good. We're good. I'm good. Doesn't need to go any further than that.
Nope. So yeah, that was the confrontation or whatever, but not really.
Maybe go to Valentin and Anna. We'll just get all that out of the way because then everything else we can do that. Then Cam, then stuff. Valentin and Anna discussing what they're going to do once all this craziness is over. And it sounds like they're both, here's the thing. Yeah, you want to get back to your families, even though they know you're, quote, alive.
There's nothing
You're not,
wrong
quote, alive. They know that you're not, quote, dead, which is
Right.
the opposite of
Quote, alive.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Right. The desire to get back to your family is normal.
Yeah.
Just like any normal couple, even if you live together, you still have to find time to spend with each other and to
Right.
see each other because you have outside obligations.
So you don't like papaya. That's okay.
Right. I don't know. They seem to be making a big deal out of it when it was nothing because he seemed to be pushing that they needed to live together, I felt like. And she was like, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, because they were together enough before even Victor.
Right.
You know, we saw all of this spark
Right.
happening.
I was waiting for her to say she wasn't ready to move in because she had already done that with Finn.
Right.
And that she needed more time because she didn't want to, even though,
Charlotte.
yeah, Charlotte's older, she would still be confused if they got together and then broke up and whatever.
Absolutely. Especially after everything that she's been seeing with, you know, Rocco and Sam and
Right.
Dante and all of that.
Yes. So I would have respected if that was what her reasoning was. But it wasn't. It was just kind of like, I don't know, this is too much.
Yep.
What? You had been together for a while beforehand. I don't understand how it's too much. But
Yeah.
okay.
And then they were freaking out over not being able to get in touch with Eileen.
Mm-hmm. She should have taken that jump drive and left while they were still in the back
Right.
room.
Did you catch Valentin's other movie reference?
No, I'm sorry.
He said he referenced about taking her out back in a laundry cart.
Okay.
What movie did that happen in? I'm disappointed if you do not get this one. It's your favorite movie.
No, I was going to say, I'm
Okay.
thinking of Annie.
Yes.
Is there a grown-up movie?
No. As far as I know, he has nothing to do with Annie.
Okay.
However,
Okay. That's why
I was so excited for you because I'm like, oh, maybe he
No.
listened or maybe the writer listened. I had a crazy dream where a writer wrote to us
Okay.
and we talked.
Okay.
Yes.
We don't have to put this in here because
But it's not like we talk about Annie all the time. But I just
No.
thought that was cool. I thought that you would definitely be like, they talked about Annie.
No, because I
reference.
wasn't sure that it was to reference Annie. I wasn't sure if that move was used somewhere else. But yeah, whenever you say that, absolutely, Annie's
Okay,
pops into
that's where
head.
my mind
Okay.
went.
Well, I
was
hope that's what he was
Annie.
talking about then, because
If it was something else,
I
it's
love
not worth it.
Annie.
It's Annie. Not that it's not worth it, but, you know.
Right. I had a dream the other day that I got to do a scene with Jagger, and then I called you, and you were like doing something else and wouldn't listen to me, and I was like, no, listen, I have to tell you this.
When would I ever do that?
I don't know, but you were like, I can't talk right now, and I was like, I have to talk to you, because I just did this whole love scene with Jagger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like love scene, but like, yeah, little smooches or whatever.
Aww.
So it was, yeah, I woke up and was like, where's Shannon? And I was like, that didn't happen. And so why am I
Please tell me
trying
you
to
did
call
not
her?
wake up yelling, where's Shannon? Ryan's going to be like, what?
Oh, but yeah, crazy dreams from all of this stuff that
Yeah.
enters into our brain.
But a General Hospital writer, feel free to email us because I will talk to you.
Absolutely. That's what I said when I saw the beginning of the nurses' ball. Like, it's going to start in a couple hours. I was like, that should be us. We want to introduce the nurses' ball.
Oh, we should have done that. We can always do next year.
Yes,
Thanks.
we are available whenever you need us.
Yep.
So, anyway. Yeah, Eileen should have taken it and instantly left. Instead, she hung out, and then Victor's like, where are you going? Hold on, blah, blah, blah. What the heck?
And then she turned on Anna and Valentin. First of all, Victor gave the most abridged version of the Ice Princess ever
Yes.
to her. It was actually not bad.
No, it explained it. It was
Yeah.
it was a mini 411. Thanks, Victor.
Yeah. Mini. In a minute. Oh, what was that? What was that? Was that Nickelodeon? In a minute. Right?
I think.
We'll be back in a minute.
I think that has to be, because that sounds like a Nickelodeon thing.
If you are of a certain age, you know what I just did. In a minute.
Thank Thank you for your sound effect with it.
Face here. Do you remember Face?
That was Nick Jr.
Yes, it was. I loved Face.
Okay. We are not of the age for that. I wish we were.
No,
Our kids are.
that I babysat, right? Like I was babysitting and had kids. Yep. It's like Bluey. I don't have a kid of that age. I love the show because I have friends with kids of that age that I enjoy watching the show with them.
Yep.
Okay.
Eileen.
Back to GH, yes.
And this is why editing when we're apart is so much easier than editing when we're together.
Yes.
They went to the footbridge and she's just like, oh my gosh, let me tell you everything. Are you not smart enough to like bargain and be like, hey, why don't we go back to my house, someplace where there's other people around, and then I'll give you the information.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you everything you want to know on the footbridge for you to then toss me over, which is exactly what he did.
I couldn't believe that Victor did it himself. I thought for sure.
He'd have his goon.
Yes.
Yep.
That did actually surprise me, even though I know everything in my brain was saying that's going to happen. I still couldn't believe that it actually happened.
Yeah. There's no reason to take anyone to the footbridge other than to make out with them or throw them off it.
Or watch fireworks.
True.
But that's just Jason watching fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
And Carly now.
Right. Anyway.
I'm disappointed that they killed her.
Me too. I felt like they should have had her play both sides a little bit longer.
Yeah.
It would have been fun. So
I don't know.
Yeah. Nope. And then to have Sunny and Dex find her, and they're instantly like, oh, Sunny, what did you have to do with this? He's like, I don't have anything to do with this.
He's like, I got her out of the water, yet I am bone dry.
Exactly.
My hair is still perfectly gelled.
And
we need his hair product.
And
we need Holly's makeup and his hair product.
Yes.
And bam.
Mm-hmm. I love how we just go off on whatever. I was waiting for him to say, do you really think if I did this that I would call the police? Like, come on!
Right. Yeah, that is a good point, too. Is he trying to make sure that it's not known that Dex works for him? Is that why Dex was told to disappear?
I'm guessing.
That's what I was guessing, too.
That's the only reason. I feel like the whole world knows that he works for Sunny, though, because he even introduced himself to Maxie that way this week.
Right. He did.
So, not sure why we're trying. I mean,
maybe Dex doesn't know he shouldn't be saying that.
Maybe. Sit down and tell. That's where Joss should have been like, shh, no, don't say that to everyone. It's not a good employment opportunity.
Like, Maxie is the police detective.
No,
he's not the commissioner. Former commissioner.
And
chief of detectives.
Yes.
Daughter.
Right. And her uncle is the DA.
Yeah.
So
maybe we don't go telling him that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't want to disclose that, but okay.
And I guess we could just jump to where Spencer did talk with Victor. We don't really have to talk about the stuff before we talk about that. Because it was only 5 seconds, and it did carry over a little bit to Friday, but not even Friday. Yeah, it was carried over to Friday.
Right.
A little bit. But we did find out that Esme can only have the baby for 18 months.
Yes, that was helpful.
So, yep.
I was glad to have a time frame on that. But the Victor stuff was just kind of dumb. He said something that alluded to getting rid of Esme, and Spencer's like, no, that's not what I want. I just want to make sure that I have the baby. Right. And then Spencer's like, hey, by the way, why are we meeting in like the back of the park instead of your your hotel room?
Well, and you got rid of your hotel room.
Right.
And you're switching your phone. And you're expecting me to just think nothing's going on?
Right. So what the heck?
Yeah.
And that was really all that happened with that.
Yeah. Prior to that, Esme had taken Ace to the hospital, finds out that he's colicky.
Yeah.
Very common with babies.
Matt had that.
Oh.
I like felt for her because I was like, yes, I was about your age holding this crying baby and not knowing how to make him feel better.
Yep. And then she saw Ava, and Ava let her know, you really have a chance to make this a permanent change. And that's the thing, because there was a comment about how we're giving Joss a hard time, but not Esme. If Esme did not have brain damage and if Joss had lost her memory and everything and now was acting out with Dex, we would have the same compassion for her that she doesn't know what she's doing. It's the same thing with Esme. She doesn't remember the things that she did. And we talked about it last week, actually, whenever we said how Trina brought up, what happens if she comes back and is worse?
Mm-hmm.
Because then
Right.
that would be a whole different dynamic. We just don't know what that's going to look like. But right now, what we're seeing with her, with the amnesia, is she is trying to be a good mother, doing her research.
Yep.
You know, she really is trying. And Ava gave her a few comments to let her know this is what you did.
Yep.
And it's not okay, but it is okay that you are trying
To move past it.
to do this. And if you really want to make this a permanent change, you do have that opportunity. So she didn't support her, but she
was just kind of really matter of fact. Like,
Yeah.
you did this, this, and this, and I am angry and may have to get revenge at some point in time. But at the
Right.
same time,
she's like, but I'm not going to do it while you're like this because
exactly. She basically said what Cameron had already
Yep.
said also is,
Yep.
look, we're all going to give you the opportunity that if this is a permanent change, we'll forgive and move on. But the second that you start to show how you were before, we're going to go full speed ahead with punishing you for all the crimes that you did and all the wrongdoings.
right. And there's a baby involved.
Yes.
So if there was no baby, I don't think anyone would. It would be nope.
Especially Ava, because
Yeah.
she was given extra chances because of Avery. And so
Yeah.
she's willing to let that little bit go. But if Esme shows her, I don't want to say true colors, because I don't know what her true colors are, but acts the way she used to, Ava's going to be good at getting even.
Yeah. Yeah. But Cam caught her trying to walk out. And he, like you just said, he told her the same thing. Yeah, I was part of who dropped the charges, so don't try to apologize to me right now. Like,
Right.
I was part of that. But here's why. It's because how would we look going after a new mom that has amnesia, that doesn't remember anything? No jury is going to convict.
Right. And Esme respected that. She was like, I don't like what you're saying, but thank you for being honest with me. I think
Right.
you're the first person that's explained it to me without an extra motive or whatever. And Cam stuck up for Laura and was like, no, my grandma is awesome.
Yep.
So make sure that you're kind to her. And then he said he didn't know if she would try to skip town or not. So he just took her to the grad party with him.
Yep. And told everyone, this is my guest. Well, before that, too, he shared about Franco.
Yes.
And about how Franco turned his life around.
That was very nice.
So,
Yeah, that was sweet. Because he said, I know someone who, changed their whole life around and put family first and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, you're not talking about you. And he was like, no, I'm not talking about my stepdad.
right. But then she caught that he used a past tense, and he's like, yeah, he died. And she's like, great. The one person that in my family that probably would like me
Yep.
or that she would get along with.
Right. Is gone.
Yep. But yeah, so he brought her to his
The party was
Party.
kind of anticlimactic.
Liz writing a card to Cam, everything she said. Liz is like, I'm so proud of him, but it stinks letting your first one go. I haven't had to let my second one go yet, so I don't know what it's like.
I don't know what it's like for the second one
The first one, yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard. But I like that Laura was like, how you doing, Mom? I like
Yes.
when people do that.
Yes. Acknowledging that it is good for him, but hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was cute. I felt like it was all appropriate. Like everything they said was how you would feel and what you would be thinking and stuff. It just wasn't.
And I'm sorry, Joss brought him a bag of pretzels.
Right. Right. Good luck with everything. Here's some pretzels.
I broke your heart. Here.
This will make it all better. But she
A case of pretzels, maybe, would have been nice.
like a gift basket with these are his favorite snacks to have in his dorm room.
But not just
A bag of
stop by
pretzels.
the convenience store. Oops, I forgot a gift.
Yeah.
This'll do.
Yep.
My ex bought me, before I went to college, I was obsessed with peanut butter M&Ms. And he went to Sam's Club and bought me, because you can get them in
Yes.
bulk. He bought me a bunch.
Aw, that was
And I
nice.
took them with me. Like, that was...
Yes, appropriate.
Yes.
Not just like the small 89-cent bag of M&Ms. Here you go. So, but she did apologize to Liz.
Yes.
And
Liz doesn't know both sides of it either, though.
she doesn't know all of it,
Yeah.
but I think she was speaking from the teenager in herself by saying, yeah, sometimes you make mistakes and you hurt people that you care about, and hopefully you guys can work through it to where you remain friends because you've been friends your whole life. And, I can't really hold a grudge against you. Don't stay with my son if you don't want to be with him.
Right, exactly. Like, how about you don't continue to break his heart? Like,
right.
Yeah. I thought she did a good job with that, too.
Yes.
I do like that Joss is kind of getting that, because she also did the same thing with Laura last week. And
she is taking responsibility. She's not telling the whole story, but she is taking responsibility.
She's taking the responsibility that makes her look good.
True. But it still would be hard. I don't know that I could.
Well, what would you do?
age.
Walk up to them and be like, hey, by the way, I cheated on your son and your grandson? Like, you wouldn't do that.
No, but I'd probably just avoid. Back then, especially, I probably would have just avoided.
She's being brave.
Yes. Yeah, I would have avoided. And
I would just like to see that we see her struggling with the guilt of them being like, it's okay, you guys are young.
right.
And being like, yeah, but they don't know the whole truth. Like, she didn't tell Trina still.
But
And she's lying to Trina.
I felt like that showed the internal conflict, though, because she wanted to tell Trina, and then she was like, I can't tell you.
Yeah.
And then Dex walked in, and whenever he left, Trina was like, really? It's not someone I know? Like,
Right.
give me a break. I know you
That's
and
true.
your mannerisms.
That's
So
true.
I think she did struggle there, like, man, this isn't the relationship I wish it was, because if so, Trina would know everything.
Right. That is true. Good explanation. And Maxie was trying to get Joss to perform.
Yeah.
And then they were talking about that Cam's going to be gone before the nurses' ball.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with that.
I know.
They could have had him do one last song and then leave.
Maybe they really couldn't. Maybe scheduling really wouldn't allow. But I did see, and I guess this is kind of a spoiler, but not a spoiler, because it doesn't really, I don't know. Anyway, he's not leaving. He's
yeah, he's
leaving.
going to,
Yeah. He said he'll be back this summer.
Okay, cool. We're just not
So-
going to see, he's just not on contract anymore.
Because he's of school. But
Right.
it's because of school. It's not.
They're not going to recast him. They're not going to,
But when he originally said he was going to school, I was afraid that it was going to be like the original actress that played Trina, where she needed to focus everything on school.
right, yeah.
And so they weren't going to recast Cam. We would just have this open hole forever or whatever.
Right.
So to hear that he's going to come back when he can
Right.
makes me happy.
And that's what Robin did for the longest time. That's what a lot of people have
Right.
done. And then they had the breakfast.
Yes.
And Jake and Aiden were both there.
Right.
Thank goodness. Love Jake being like, by the way, I'm turning your room into
Are you
an
done?
art studio.
Did you get everything out of there? Because I have the renovators coming in 15 minutes.
Exactly.
It was cute.
It
And
was.
I felt like that was an appropriate, everybody come and say bye and whatever. And Violet was so cute with him.
Yes.
And how much she's going to miss him. And they drew that picture of them. That was so cute.
I like this second chance that we're getting with Liz and Finn.
Yes.
Because neither of us liked it to begin with, because it was weird.
This feels natural.
Yes.
They're supporting each other in things that are going on. The kids have a relationship. They're not like squishy mushy all over each other all the time, but they just have these little side comments that make each other smile.
Right. And the little looks.
Yes.
Yes.
That makes me interested.
I don't think they've ever done a do-over. Not that I can think of with a couple. Not like this. Not like this.
Not so quickly.
But not just that. It was so badly done. Sorry.
It was.
I don't know anyone that was a fan of Liz and Finn.
Mm-mm.
But now they're kind of getting a do-over to introduce us to this couple. If when Brooklyn and Chase come back together, we already saw this part.
Right.
They just need to find their way back to it.
Mm-hmm.
But this feels like a true 100% do-over on the idea of Liz and Finn even being together.
Right.
So we can just forget about before.
I would be good with that because I like this so much better.
Yes. Do we really have to talk about that Willow and Nina argue and Carly and argue? And well, Willow didn't argue. Correction.
Willow did not argue. She was like, you know what? I'm tired and I've been through enough. You
Like,
two
hi,
can-
leukemia.
Whatever. I have some stuff to do in the other room. Just figure it out.
Yeah.
And they did come together at the end and tell her that they would both be her strength and help
Yes.
her in any way that they could. So that was good. But I don't know why any other conversation even needed to happen.
No.
It's all whatever. Carly, get over it.
I did catch an incorrect comment that Carly made.
Uh-oh.
Because when she was talking with Was she talking with Nina? They were talking about the nurses' ball and how quickly it's had to come together.
Okay.
And she said because it's either been at the end of May or at the end of September. Did she say September?
She did say September.
Nope, it has never been in September. She said June. She said June. It's either been in June or September.
Okay.
Right? The original nurses' ball was in June.
Okay.
When it started in 1994, it was the 23rd and 24th. In 95, it was the 21st and 22nd. 96, it was only one day, the 21st. 97, the 20th and 23rd. So that would have been a Friday to Monday.
Mm-hmm.
98, it was the 19th and 22nd. 99, the 18th and 21st. In 2000, it was the 20th through the 21st. And in 2001, it was the 20th through the 21st. They then took the 12-year hiatus until the 50th anniversary.
Right.
In 2013, when it came back, the 50th anniversary one was April 5th through 9th. So they did it at the same time.
Okay.
10 years ago. But then it was switched to May 18th through 13th in 2014. In 15, it was the 1st through 5th. And they got longer. Or no, or would that have still been a weekend? Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. 16 was the 24th through 26th. 17th was the 23rd through 25th. 18th was 16th through 21st. 19 was 16th through 22nd. And it wasn't until 2020. And the only reason that it was because of COVID.
Right.
Because it was scheduled to be in May.
Yes.
So the only reason why it was in August was because of COVID. Never been in September. I hope that it is the entire week. I don't want anything outside of Nurses Ball extravaganza celebrating General Hospital being 60 all next week. It has to be a week.
I agree. I hope so too.
That's just how I feel, especially where we're starting it on a Monday. Even though we saw, who was the reporter? Starting, that's where I was a little bit confused.
Right, like hours beforehand, he's like, in a few hours, this is going to be the nurses' ball. Thanks.
Right. I mean, I guess they do that with, who does it? Doesn't E?
Maybe.
I haven't had cable in so long, but I think they have like all day coverage.
Maybe.
But that's what I want. I want elongated performances.
Yes.
I mean, everybody.
Right, and they can have conversations like they've done before in the ballroom, backstage, and
a
whatever.
little bit of drama maybe somewhere.
But it's all focused in that one spot.
Yes, but for the entire week.
Yes.
Do you really want that, or are you just saying that?
No, I really do want that. Because I felt like, and I know, again, COVID is why they had to do it, but the year that they did the, like, telethon-y one, those acts were so short.
Right.
I want the full-blown numbers.
Yes, me too. Because he was who revealed that there was a hiccup with the magic wands.
Yes.
To Maxie.
Yes.
As Lucy's sitting there with her popcorn, ready to
And then Lucy shows up thinking that no one's going to see her, and within 5 seconds, Victor's guy is like, hey, guess who was in the Metro Court?
They're all alive!
Yes, we're going to follow them now.
And then Sonny went to the safe house, too. Oh, yeah, we forgot about that. And he's like, no, you guys really just need to kind of stay put, because the more you move, the more likely it's going to be.
Yeah, but if they have someone following Lucy, that's not going to be true.
Exactly.
So they didn't have all the information.
We're probably going to see. Okay. I will redact a tiny bit. Safe house and nurses ball. Because eventually, Valentin's not going to be performing at the nurses ball.
No, he's not. See, I was happy about no tango because Anna won't be there. Oh, but we have Emma back. I wonder if Emma's going to do something. Oh, that would be cute.
This is not fair. Okay.
Oh,
Monday, Valentin and Anna are rescued from the safe house. We're just putting a quick end to that so that way he can be part of the nurses' ball.
The schedule's already set. He can't get in. Sorry.
There's room.
There's not.
There's room.
There's not.
There's always room for Valentin.
No?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
But he's such a good performer.
Maybe Charlotte will do something instead.
Oh, in honor of her.
Yeah. Even though she knows he's not dead.
Yeah. Maybe they could do like maybe they've recorded stuff together.
Oh, that would be cute. See, there's options. We're okay.
I am so mad about this now. I didn't think about it. Maybe they'll have him sing to Anna at the cabin.
Maybe.
Maybe
Sure.
he'll bust out like a little keyboard. A little Yamaha.
Sonny just happens to have this in the coat closet.
Did you
Oh my
Did you ever do
god.
that with the keyboard? Like he always played with like the different little tempo thingies.
Yes. I think that's all anyone
And
did
then
with
do a
those
tango.
keyboards.
Then they're gonna tango.
No tango. No tango.
Record all the different voices and play them back by playing the keys. Okay. Oh, but seriously. Oh,
You'll be okay.
no.
Yeah,
Okay.
there'll be something better.
No.
Yeah. You'll be all right. He sings all the time to Anna. You get to hear him all the time.
When has he ever sung to Anna?
I don't know, but he does. He's sang. We've heard him on random occasions sing. You're fine. He doesn't need to be part of the nurse's ball. You'll get over it.
Maybe. As long as we have it with the Yamaha.
Right. As long as he has a small keyboard, everything is okay. I'm going to send him a keyboard. Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
This is what jet lag does to Shannon.
Oh. Okay. Oh, like, I would not have had that same.
That's true. That's true.
Anyway, so Emma showed up to say hi to Anna and Valentin. I'm kind of bummed that I know Kimberly McCullough retired, but she came back for Sean Donnelly.
Yes.
I think it's odd
Yes.
that she did not show up, especially where Epiphany was such an important part of her
Their
and Patrick.
storyline. Yeah.
And Night Shift.
Right.
And so that just, it felt odd because Emma was a baby.
Right.
She wasn't just a baby, but she didn't have a relationship.
Right. Robin was friends with Epiphany before Emma even existed.
Right. So, I mean, I love the fact that Emma came on behalf of the family.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that. It was great to see her. It was great to see that it's the same actress.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is her coming back, but then that ruins her being able to be with Cam. Stanford University is in California. They live in California. Maybe he and Emma will get together because she's in med school. What's Cam going for? I don't even know.
I don't know either.
But isn't she in med school?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they'll get together over in California.
Okay. And then they can come back this summer as they met up in California and hung out. And
Yes.
now there's a romance.
Similar to like Ellie and Griffin.
Yeah.
Hey, let's call Griffin and have him be part of the Magic Wands.
Yes, please.
He did that once, right? I think he did.
I think he did. And if not, he can start today. That would be cute. That would be cute.
Yeah.
All right. I'm open to whatever they want to do with Emma. I would like to see her being friends with Trina. That would be cute.
Yeah.
Being part of the girls' clique. Because they need to try to level out that age ridiculousness that they've done.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and that guy that reported back to Victor,
Mm-hmm.
Maxie gave him the rundown. Remember how we've not known where that garden patio
Yes.
was? Because we
Yes.
kept thinking it was just off the Metro Court on the rooftop. It is on the first level.
Mm-hmm.
But the Metro Court restaurant is at the very top.
Mm-hmm. Let my
So now
mom
we
show
know.
you, sir.
I just think it made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now we know.
Now we know.
Whoop, whoop. Think that was it with the nurses' ball talk. Oh, Felix is coordinating something. But Felix is involved.
He was handling
He's
like
in
Chase and them because he was the music or the lighting because he was asking Chase what kind of lighting his love song needed. If it was like a "We're Back Together" song
Right.
or like a breakup
Oh.
song. And that was whenever Brooklyn was like, "Here, let me give my input, but this is weird and what are they doing and blah blah blah." Just pushing that weirdness along.
Yeah. Well, there was 2 words that he said because he's like, okay, so this and that. All right. And they were complete opposites.
Yeah.
I forget.
I don't remember the words. I'm sorry, I didn't write it
It's
down.
okay.
I was
Neither did
happy
I.
to see Felix
Yes.
back.
Yes. Very glad to see that he is part of it. I hope that one day is all remembrances of
Mhm.
the people who have passed.
That would be nice.
It'd be very
Trying
sad.
to make us cry some more. All
But, oh, you got to.
right, so I think that's everything. other than...
Oh, hold it.
Oh.
Nope. Trying to convince Maxie to ask Mac.
Oh,
Called him a daddy. But she said it in a kind of...
Oh.
But she said it in... and it warranted Maxie's response to, yeah, mine.
Yes.
Like, mine.
Yes.
Remember this?
Mm-hmm. That was cute. That was a cute interaction.
You know, Mac is kind of a daddy.
I'm sure he's called him Mac Daddy before we've had this conversation.
Right.
No, I think he would be a good asset to the magic wands, because it would be nice to see people of different ages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm sorry. It is kind of weird that
Right.
a lot of the guys, like Dex is the actor's only 25. That's how old your son is.
Mm-hmm.
And mine's going to be 21 at the end of the month. I feel gross. Even though Zac Efron's closer to my age than I realized.
Yeah.
Because he was in a High School Musical.
Right.
Even though now he's obviously very much
An adult. Right. It still feels
it's still weird.
Yes, I agree. So
Let's
it
get
would
some
be
of the
nice
older
to have
guys.
some of the older men.
Curtis.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, mix it up. Some young
Yes.
and old. That would be okay.
Not
but
old, mature.
Okay. But I see Maxie's point of, I don't care how hot my dad is, I do not want to see him on stage. That's just gross.
Right. But Liesl is cleared
Mm-hmm.
to donate.
Yep. So that's all moving along.
And I respected the fact that she said she was not going to go to Epiphany's memorial because they did not get along. And because who was it? Diane came to her
Right.
and said,
Here's a special. I thought that was awesome because Epiphany understood that they were like frenemies. They wanted the common, same
they had the same goal.
but they were not like, oh, let's go grab a drink together type of friends.
Right.
And so she asked her to help put the memorial on, but not be directly involved with it, where it would bring up yucky
Right.
feelings about people not hanging out with Brit or
Like how-
coming to Brit's.
Right. Like how Liesl said, I hated that people that I know talked badly about her
Mm-hmm.
showed up. So, okay.
So Liz
It's
has been
time.
trying to get a hold of Epiphany for the past few weeks because she needed a letter of recommendation so that she hopefully did not lose her job over all of the Esme stuff. And finally, she gets someone to answer the phone, and it is
At the end of Cam's party, she
Yes.
called her instead of texting.
yes, and it is a state trooper that says that he has some horrible news for her. And then they ended it like that. They didn't tell you exactly what
That was
happened. That was a good.
I love how they did everything.
Yes. Right, and they tried to pull it back to... Okay, so the next day is the memorial. Liz is trying to make it perfect. She has pictures up. I love that they include not just GH pictures, because I love to see how the actresses have actually aged through time. They had a really pretty picture of her at the hospital, in the chapel, and Liz and Finn are talking about it, and she's saying, she still feels like she's letting Epiphany down, and she needs more information. And then the woman comes up to her and says, no, your friend died saving my life, and she made sure that I was okay, blah, blah, blah. But then all I heard was that I guess Elizabeth said, all I heard was that she collapsed. And then she said, I wasn't sure what happened either. And then they went on to talking more, and it was revealed that she died because of a heart condition because of the smoke. And in real life, she passed away because of a heart condition. So.
And do you know who that woman was?
I don't know her name, but I know she was a real life friend.
That's Yvette Nicole Brown. She was on the show Community. And yes, they were real life friends. They started around the industry at the same time. And because I believe she was how I found out, because I follow her on Instagram.
And she posted,
Because she posted. I think that's awesome that they had her real life friend. Okay. And she said that they started in the industry around the same time. We'd see each other at auditions. We became friends when we both tested for the ABC pilot, The Big House, which starred Kevin Hart in 2003. And I collected her. She became family. There were 4 of us. Sonia, Octavia Spencer, Carla Renata and myself. We called ourselves the Four Divas. In our salad years, we supported each other. We put our flags down in different parts of the industry, and we had a great 20-year friendship.
Aww.
I love that they had her friend
Right.
be who she saved.
Yep. It was beautiful. And then everyone got up and spoke, and they had flashbacks of their different memories of her helping Sunny and
keeping Felix in line.
Yes. I'm like, I even made a note of it because I wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing. Carly talked about how Epiphany was like the person in charge, and Liz gave a beautiful, beautiful speech about how wonderful she was. You could feel their feelings coming through. It wasn't just about a character that passed away.
Right.
It was their
I
real
feel like they were
feelings.
talking, and I think that's why I might have been having such a hard time with all of this.
Yeah.
So we're doing a 411 all about Epiphany on Thursday, and I could not watch anything. I hot mess ugly cried the entire episode. The second that Liz walked into the chapel, I was done.
Yeah. No, I cried too. Like,
Oh, and Laura and Robert outside.
yes.
Like, everything was perfect. They could not have done that any better, in my opinion.
And Diane had it all together. Okay, everyone come up to the rooftop and read a short letter from Epiphany that was totally Epiphany-like, where
Yep.
she's like, I'm assuming you people said some nice things about me, thanks. And then that was where Obrecht came in, as they set off fireworks. I did think it was funny, though, like, if I said to you tomorrow, here's some fireworks, can you go set these off for me? You don't know how to just set off fireworks.
I'm pretty sure her remains were in the fireworks.
Oh, you think?
That's what I think it was.
Oh.
I think she was cremated and that her remains were in, because that's how she wanted to go out.
Okay.
And I think that's why Milo whispered to Sunny, pretty sure this is a legal boss.
Oh.
And Sunny was like, yeah. And Laura's like, I did not hear
I did
that.
not
I did not hear
right.
that.
I just thought it was...
Am I wrong? I
Maybe
think that's
that
what they
would
were.
be super awesome if that's
I think
what it was
that's what they were
supposed to be.
alluding to, was that she was in the fireworks.
I just thought, fireworks are not something easy to put off. And Obrecht's
No.
like, here you go, I just set these up. Like, they're the little
But
ones
she
off
has-
in the yard and stuff.
Yeah.
But those were fireworks. And she's like,
It was just a button.
here, I've orchestrated. No, it showed her lighting them.
Oh yeah.
So she was like orchestrating that these to go off, and then these go off. and
Maybe
then
the
these
company
go
that
off.
put them together told her what to do. Off screen.
Sure.
And that just would have wasted time.
Sure. Okay. I hope so, because
yeah.
that was all. That was the only negative part that I thought was, this is perfect and it's cute and it goes with the whole thing. But at the same time, who just knows how to put off fireworks like that?
No, I agree, because I said she became fireworks.
Yeah. That would be beautiful. I did not make that connection, but that would be beautiful.
And then, well, no, it was before the fireworks that Liz was still down in the chapel and received a phone call from Monica, and that was definitely Leslie Charlson.
Yes.
And she said that Epiphany was bringing that letter in person, and that she had written that she was recommending Liz to be head nurse. And that makes so much sense, because Epiphany passed her MCATs. She was going to be going on to becoming a doctor. That role was going to be vacant.
Yes.
There was going to have to be a new head nurse, period, end of sentence, regardless of this tragic
Events.
way
yeah.
that it's happened. And Epiphany was recommending
Liz. Yep. So Monica said, I can't disrespect Epiphany's last wishes. You are now the new head nurse. I hope that bumps
No,
Felix.
she's bringing it to the board.
Oh, well, she's taking it as long as the board is
She's
fine
not
with
the
it.
end all be all, but
Right.
she's
She's
making
behind
that
it.
recommendation.
Yes. So I hope that Liz gets into Epiphany's spot, and then Felix bumps up to Elizabeth's role.
Yeah. Yes,
Because we need more Felix.
we do.
So.
Oh, I love that Diane asked about Max to Milo.
Yes. Yeah, I loved Marshall's face whenever he was like, Curtis, how did that young guy know Epiphany? And he's like, that's my boyfriend.
She's full of surprises. Then he walked over, or Milo came over and put his arm
Yes.
around Marshall.
Yeah. Well, it was
That was
beautiful.
it was amazing.
And they put a picture at the very end. It showed them putting the picture up on the wall.
With her singing, "You're Not Alone Anymore."
Yeah. So, no, I did. I cried. I don't know why. It did. It felt like you.
This
it
one
felt
just
like
hit.
Epiphany. That Sonia Eddy was Epiphany.
100%.
And so, for losing her, I don't know.
I feel like we lost a friend, even
Yeah.
though like she wasn't even on that much. Like
She
she
had such
decreased
a
years
presence.
after. Yeah,
She had such a presence. I felt like she was a friend anytime that I would see her, even in a different movie from a million years ago or a different show or whatever. I'm like, that's our friend. Like, we know
Yes.
her. She's ours. And it just, I felt like I had that connection with her. I'm sure she had no idea who we were, but.
but I think that's what she wanted to portray.
Right.
Was because even in Seinfeld, you know, she
Yes.
was stern and kind, but very much. Oh, I said that she was. I think I said that she was the postal worker, but she was the bookstore clerk when George was trying to return the book that he brought into the bathroom, and she's
Yes.
like, "No."
Yes.
She was just.
She was also, you had mentioned the muffin top
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So when I was looking at the YouTube clips dedicated to her,
Rebecca De Mornay.
it showed those.
Yes.
And the postal worker was in that movie where they go underground for like years and years and years because they think that
Blast from the past.
Is that what it's called?
Brendan Fraser and
Yes.
Christopher Walken. So I was wrong.
Yes, she's
I'm
a
so
postal
excited.
worker
I
in that
wasn't wrong. She was a postal worker. Bam, that's right, because he says
And,
a Negro.
yes.
And she's like, what now?
Exactly.
That's right. And please, that was no disrespect that it was.
No,
was
that's
said.
just what the line was. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so you were right about that.
I was just merging them together.
And it's funny because I saw that movie for the first time just like 2 months ago.
Are you serious?
Yes.
It is such a good movie. I love that movie.
And yeah, whenever she walked on, I was like, "That's our friend."
So that's what I was remembering. So she was a postal worker.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than she will definitely be missed at General Hospital for all those things.
I've said it a million times, but I mean, it was perfect. There was nothing could have been done differently, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I like that they wrapped it all up. It made sense. They took the time to do it right. I'm
Yes.
not disappointed now because at first it was like, why are they taking so long?
Right.
This made perfect sense and
She achieved her dream.
yes.
That just could not have worked out any, I hate to use the phrase better, but I think you'll know what I mean,
Right.
of how to transition that role because it was going to be happening anyway. And they were able to.
Yes.
Okay. On that note,
Reality check.
Yeah.
how do we get into reality
I
check
was going
from
to say,
there?
luckily, there's nothing that transitions into reality check
No.
for me with that, other than you made the comment that with magic wands, them being 25 or whatever, and my son is 25. He turned 25 on Friday, and I think that was part of the emotion with my GH watching, too, when Liz was talking about Cameron
Yep.
moving on and whatever, because I cried all morning on Friday. Like, I don't know what was wrong with me, but I just laid in bed and cried and cried. I was putting on my makeup and like had to redo it because I had tears coming down it. And I will show you because I'm so proud of myself. Matt does not like regular cake. He likes cookie cake.
Okay.
And I had seen this really cute cake on Etsy or whatever that was like a cake. It was all tiered up and it had these SpongeBob figures made out of fondant. I don't know how much your kids loved SpongeBob, but
It was my son's first birthday theme.
oh, okay. So there's an episode where they're in school and they're talking about something with numbers, and Patrick starts laughing about 24, and Mrs. Puff is like, okay, knock it off, blah, blah, blah. And then he turns to SpongeBob a couple minutes later and he's like, do you know what's funnier than 24? 25. And they all start laughing again.
Aww.
So I saw this cake and I was like, this is what I want and whatever. I contacted a local specialty baker and they said, sure, they could do it for $167. And not that I wouldn't spend that because it was 25th birthday, but he doesn't like cake and he is very frugal with his money. He would have killed me.
Yeah.
So I bought a plain cookie cake from Giant Eagle and ordered an edible sheet of it and then assembled it all myself. I did the blue frosting. Madeline did the yellow frosting, and that was what it looked like.
Oh, that is beautiful. Good job.
I was very impressed with myself.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
And then I bought cupcakes and the little pics of the SpongeBob of different people in it. And he like really appreciated it. You could tell he took pictures.
And there was more thought and stuff into that rather than...
Yeah.
$167.
Mm-hmm.
I could have given you the name of somebody, should you ever...
Okay.
It would not... I don't think.
Okay.
Because it's who did both of my kids' 16th birthday cakes.
Yeah.
And I am with you that I would not have spent that.
If he loved cake, I would have. I would have
Right.
just done it, but I knew he wouldn't even take a piece of it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even take a piece of it.
Because
So-
my son's, it looked like a road the whole way up. And so it was, careful teenage driving, you know,
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yes.
And then my daughter, she loves Studio Ghibli.
I remember
And so-
your daughters. That was awesome.
Yeah. And so they were definitely not
Okay.
that.
Well, yeah. So I'm not
When he
saying
turns
that...
40.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not ready for that. But yeah, he appreciated it.
That's
and it
awesome.
was just a very special whatever. And then my two older girls turned 20. Oh my God. And 17. And we had done parties for them earlier and stuff. So they got a, appropriate party. But for me this
Right.
week, it was Matt's party that was a special place.
Yes.
So, yeah, 25. He was excited. He will have a lower insurance rate.
Hey.
That's what he was excited
I was excited about that too.
So, you had a super exciting week, though.
I did. I finished my Vegas trip on Sunday night. So back to, I can't remember if I said this on last week's. I turned 40 in September. In October, my company had our regional convention, which was just like our local franchise had our convention. Yeah. And we had a great speaker, Sebastian Terry, who's from Australia. And he lost a friend in his 20s, and he realized how much of his life he was wasting. And so he made that's what he said.
Right.
Just throwing that out there. I'm not making that judgment. That's pretty much what his part of his speech was. So he made a list of 100 things that he wants to do before he dies. And I mean, his is insane, where he does, like, he's been shot. He crashed a red carpet.
I remember you talking about this before.
He married somebody, a stranger in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. So
you didn't try to do that, did you?
No, I'm married.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You committed all kinds of crimes.
No. But when we started to plan our trip, my friends that I went out with, that's how we wound up at the Grand Canyon. That's how I wound up doing the Skywalk. And I talked about that last week.
Yes.
But also on my list, I had zip lining. And they have zip lining in Vegas.
Of course they do. So
on a whim, myself and a new friend and someone that I have known for about a year, we're just all, we should go do that. We should go do that. It's only $50.
Oh, that's not bad, no.
So we went and did that.
Nice.
And it was nighttime.
Oh, that was so pretty, I'm sure.
It was so cool. I mean, I'm sitting there as they're doing these things, and I swear these kids were like in high school. And all I kept thinking is they have had to have passed tests, and they are doing this all day. And I kept reminding, and as they're strapping me in, I had a guy that was strapping me in. I said, listen, you touch whatever you need to make sure that I am secured. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's part of the waiver. I said, but I'm just verbally letting you know, go for it. Like, I don't care. So I screamed, but it was like so therapeutic. It was fantastic. It wasn't the Fremont Street one, though. It was in the Link Promenade, but still, it was so cool. So I'm going to do it again. At some point.
Awesome.
But that's my first step to eventually I want to do skydiving, but I feel like that was kind of like my first up.
Yeah.
Like my first step.
Right.
I think I'm going to start with the skydiving by doing one of those wind tunnels to see how I handle it. Because vertigo has suddenly started creeping into my life. And it's weird. It only happens at at like really weird things.
Okay.
Because that was my biggest fear. I was like, oh great, why am I doing this? I'm going to get sick. And I was fine. But I had a focal point.
Yeah.
So I think that helped.
That does help, yeah.
So it was awesome. And then we had our breakout sessions, or like our general sessions and stuff. And on Monday we had, as a keynote speaker, was this great magician, Vin Jiang, I think is how you pronounce it. And he talked a lot about perspective, but did magic during it. So that was really cool.
Oh, that is cool.
And then we have like breakout sessions where we go and learn different things, whatever. We get to pick which class we go to. And then on Tuesday, we had a speaker that somebody shared with me last year, Kevin Brown. Somebody shared with me that I had to read his book. I had to at least follow him or watch him because his son's autistic, and he shared about their journey. And I've watched this speech that he gave, but apparently only part of it, because he gave it all on Tuesday morning and everybody's crying. I'm crying because my friend is sitting there and she goes, he's telling your story, but you didn't have a spouse. And I'm like, and I was like, I just didn't know. And then this poor agent that's also in our company who was sitting, there was like 2 seats in between us. There was a part where his son said something about he hates the way that he thinks, or like he hates his brain. And my daughter has said things like that when she's struggling. She says things like that. And it, like, I lost it. And this agent just like went down and grabbed the tissue and was like, here. And I'm like, she's going to think I am bonkers. But everybody, I'm pretty sure there were guys crying too.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to be friends with him. I am going to email him. He does not know this yet. He said that his wife checks his email sometimes. And so I am just going to be persistent and become friends with him.
Okay.
So, yes. So it was just amazing. Oh, and One Republic was our private concert on Tuesday night, which raises money for Sunshine Kids.
That's awesome.
So they put on a really good show.
That's awesome.
And then when I got home, I was severely jet lagged Thursday and Friday. And then we started our garden yesterday, and my daughter is in the process of taking over my son's bedroom because they are swapping rooms now. Because he's almost halfway through college, and
yeah, you mentioned that before. She's like, I want the bigger room.
Yep. Well, it made sense to me because, yeah, he has a bigger room, and it's just basically sitting empty. I had been considering taking it over, a portion of it over to be my private office, and then I was like, no, how about before I do that, I give it to my daughter. So, sacrifices were made. But yeah, a really good week. And then this week, she and I are going to DC for the Cherry Blossom Festival, and I'll talk more about that next week.
Yes.
Okay, so join us on Thursday as we talk all about Epiphany.
Basically, you just cry some more.
Yep.
Have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to peer54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.